This system is a PC-based multiple display signage system. Very easy to use. All it requires is a computer, a Windows computer, and generally available flat panel display or a projector, all from just the one PC. And they can use their own contents to make a very quick, easy signage display promotional material. Start up the editor software. Immediately you will notice that the screen for the editor software is made up of three parts. One part is the virtual display area. Here we have on the right hand side we have the contents. This is a standalone signage system, which basically means all the contents are readily available here in the PC before running the signage program. And the third main part of the screen is the timeline area here at the bottom. The timeline area and the display area are connected. Let's select an area that we want to display some contents on the view area here, and automatically there is a timeline generated for that area. So now let's drag a short movie, into the timeline area, and we see that we have a short movie represented here in the timeline. We can preview this to see how it looks in the overall view, the total display area, and within that we have 1/4 of the area represented by the selected area in the view area, showing the movie. Let's get back to more editing. So likewise, we can select other areas like so and add different content. And to preview, we click on the preview button and we get to see what it represents on the screen. Another feature of this shows how to use this display area to fill the whole screen. And we will do that here by selecting the display area, utilizing the full screen for display. And now we have the contents displayed on the full screen. Another thing to note here is that the content can consist of both movies and still images, and a combination of either is capable of being handled by the system. Described how to use the display for, say, in divisional parts here, but you can also select the full screen like so, and then add separate content for that. As I will show you now, this allows you to have a background large video with smaller videos in front. Not only that, when you get to a point where all the videos from the foreground have been complete and you select play again, you see the full video from the full screen. Next, I will describe how to save this as a timeline file. And let's just give it a very simple file. Let's call it timeline 1. And using this timeline file, we can use a scheduler to select this timeline for any given day so that it will automatically be played by the player I mentioned earlier. So again, it's a simple case of dragging the timeline into the calendar and clicking OK, and we have the timeline file programmed into the calendar. If you select one timeline again, you can select a periodical repeat of this from a specified day to a specified day. So for example, from the 6th to the 12th, you can add the timeline quickly and easily for multiple displays over a number of days. And saving the schedule allows the player to use that and play the data you have programmed. There are additional features which I will now describe how you can divide the display into more than just 4. Using an additional expanded feature we have for display construction. With this, we will go into the display construction dialog, where we can select the number of displays or virtual displays we want to use. The basic is 2 by 2, even up to 7 by 7. like so. And now we have a much more detailed display structure available to us. So let's select the whole screen, move it for here, and let's select center. We can add the contents at any given time. We can select our screens beforehand, like so, and add the contents at any given time. So you can set up a whole bunch of different sizes and variations very quickly using the software. So now we have set up a rather funky display here that we will add content to. Editing right here. And if you're familiar with timeline-based software, you can see that it's pretty easy to basically align content anywhere on the timeline. And even if you can't do it exactly on the timeline, you can click into the properties and use the properties window to adjust your content to within a second on the timeline. Okay, so here we have a completed sample timeline. Let's do a little check to see how it looks. We can select a preview area, as we described earlier. And with the time marker at a given time, we press the play button to preview to see how it looks. And here we have a background video with a message pop-up window here. So here we have 4 different images displayed, a unique signage experience. So here we have it on the full display, and everything looks pretty good here. We can select 4 multiple displays, which I have here behind me, and just a simple selection and pressing the preview. Now we see it on 4 displays. So another unique feature of this software is that it allows you to have a virtual display and then project your image onto whichever device you select. And depending on your computer's hardware capabilities, you can have up to 8 displays, all of which can be used at once, or each with their own image, or the image can be spread over partial displays, as we can see here, where the display is not limiting what you display or the content. The content can be spread over multiple displays, as you see here. And you see here we use the whole surface to display the content. Simply, easily, and cheaply, because you can utilize existing hardware or an existing computer or a display to basically implement your own signage system. If you have a message,
今すぐサイネージへ